Yep. Welcome to Series 2, Episode 8 of our podcast, Sage's Retreat, home of all things dad and games related, with current events along with anything else that we can think of. My name's Nathan, and this is my co host Lee. And as you've obviously realised, we're live, so if we mess up or something goes wrong, then we're doing his best. So, Lee, tell us what you've been up to. Yeah. hmm hmm No, you can't. Olivia's just told me you can't hear you. See, told you it was live. Yeah. It's live. It's obviously going to happen.
Okay, right. I think I've solved the problem. Olivia, if you could just let me know if you can hear me.
Cheers, Adam. That's some sound advice, that.
Microphone. Adam, I'm going to be honest. I actually had to turn my microphone on. The reason is I
Uh,
muted my microphone for the start screen, and then I forgot to put it. It's just a thing, a silly thing with OBS. You mute it on one thing, it actually mutes it on everything. You can't like section it off. But I'm here now, so yeah, fixed. Yeah, brilliant. So if we start again, so what I've
yeah.
been up to this week, I've just said it all. So, but obviously only to myself. This week has been
Yep.
an interesting one. Games aside, I've had a thank you, Olivia. You're wonderful. Um, it's I had a bit of uh, emotional sort of strife with a friend of mine who we've been going through quite a lot, and uh, it's just been one of those, men's mental health problems, which often gets um, shoved, if not thrown and discarded. Obviously, it's a lot better now, but people um, people forget about men sometimes. It's often, there's a lot of focus on women's mental health. I get that. Children, teenagers, I get that. But as men, often it's like we just got to get on with it. And for some of us, getting on with it isn't as easy, and it did affect him quite bad. I think he's okay. He's getting the help he needs. But, you know, we all know that you need to help yourself quite, if you don't want to. People can try to help you, but often they can't. They can't force it on you, can they? You have to help yourself. It's that. So hopefully things will pull through. And I need to talk to him. I haven't sort of called him. Maybe I should have phoned him, but he's been he's been he's had a lot of people around him helping him. So I just kind of also, we don't talk a lot on the phone. We sort of messages and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully he's all good. Um, I've been games wise. I've been helping Karina. She's actually just the EA Play that you can get. So
Mhm.
she's got like a month's trial of that for like 75 pence. So if she enjoys that, she'll go on and have it for.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty decent. You get a lot. I mean,
Mm.
EA games don't appeal to everybody. They've got a lot of racing games. They've got a lot of like Battlefield, etc., etc. And
Mm.
then they kind.
Is that with a Game Pass? Is that
It's supposed she hasn't got Game Pass. I mean, I've got Game Pass, and it's supposed to be coming through with Game Pass.
mm.
Now you get EA Play on console, but you don't get it on
Mm.
the. So if you have that Ultimate Game Pass, you do get it on. So I'm just repeating myself. You get it on console, but you don't actually get it on over to PC. I'm assuming they've
Yeah.
licensed with somewhere else, but it's supposed to be coming. It's supposed to be coming soon, like this year, like now, like last month, this month. I don't know. Every time I look it up, it just says coming soon. So I'm just gonna have to leave it, and hopefully it will suddenly appear one day on I'm going to open up my Xbox app and it's going to go, "You've got EA Play," and I'll be like, "Yes, Battlefield," and just so that'll be good. But she's downloaded a favourite game, Paradise. Is it Paradise City? Is it called Paradise City? Burnout.
Oh, Burnout Paradise.
Burnout Paradise. Yeah, I keep thinking Paradise City because it's that damn song and it's all you hear. Take me down, and it's like, "Shut for the 10th time in 2 minutes. Can we stop?" But yeah, she loves it. I like that game as well, so we've got that running. Keep in mind as well, I mean, that game's a few years old now, but keep in mind she doesn't have a graphics card. She's like Jade's laptop. She has that inbuilt kind of Vega graphics, and it's performing very well. Still very well. Also, there's Mass Effect Andromeda she's downloaded.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, which of course is a game that you played recently. She really wanted to try something new, and she's a big Destiny fan. And I think that there is enough of a similarity between the two in the fact that you're a soldier with a gun and you're shooting things. So it's like you can kind of just drop into it if you're not too bothered about the game too much or deep lore or anything. You can. I think Mass Andromeda. I haven't played it. It's a game I do want to play, but it's a little bit separate from the other ones. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's set like 600 years after, but at the same time, because they have to travel 600 years. So it's in the future, but the technology level's the same. It is. I know it got some bad rap, but I enjoyed it. The gunplay, it's not very taxing, so it's not a difficult game by any means.
Okay.
The story's pretty good, and the gameplay is pretty good. I think she'll like it, and I would recommend playing it.
Yeah, I will. I 100% will, but I've been enthralled with something else at the moment, and in fact, I was actually on with Adam earlier. I chucked him some Trollhide just to give him a little boost, but
just to spice.
A little bit of that blue outfit. But the thing is, you can't. There's no point giving anything like to cheat, so to speak, because he can't. He has to unlock. He has to go through the levels and unlock it. There's no point going, here's a silver sword and padded armor, because he can't fix it. It's that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So Karina's just put in chat she's actually enjoying Mass Andromeda so far. Mass Effect Andromeda so far.
Oh, good.
I did help her a little bit yesterday, but she's a bit spacky-handed with a controller, so I had to go, "Come on, let me get that mouse and keyboard." No, I just helped with a tiny bit. It's all right. I think it's frustrating her. But yeah, it's
careful your romance, Karina, because you can only choose one. I found that I was romancing the wrong person.
She has already chosen one. Are you not at the game?
Yeah. Oh, well, obviously with you as well.
Oh, right. Sorry. in
the game.
Of course, do what you want in the game. She's living out all the fantasies and getting with the Krogan, I suspect.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the tips and the bow. Did I give you a bow? Didn't give you.
You give him a Drogafang already.
Did I give you, Adam? Did I give you a bow?
No, but it's still yours because you dropped it.
Did you? I can't remember what happened now. I'm waiting for a response on this one. Did I give you a bow? I did give him some stuff, and I did. Our original camp, the one that we made quite close to the stones. I told him to help himself with a chest because all there was like meat and like dandelions and what have you. So I just like chucked him in, and I also gave him a tour of our server. He came on and I said, "Right, let's have a tour." Oh, yeah. And you haven't been. Have you been on since I'd redid the thing?
Yeah. I had a quick go earlier on just to quickly run around. It looks good.
Yeah,
looks pretty good. We'll have to do a proper walk round and that.
Yes, I think we will. It took. Yeah, I did say raid the chest. Yeah, use your mouse and keyboard, see how that goes. Yeah, give it a go. I think because it's not unlike Warzone. So we should be playing Warzone. You play Warzone with a mouse and keyboard. If you're not used to it, it can be quite difficult. Because you're trying to be, there's somebody there, move, so you can get a bit kerfuddled, can't you? But I think playing with a single player game like that, I think you could probably get used to. It's a good place to practice with mouse and keyboard if it's something you want to do. Also, she's just got a new mouse today because the old one conked out. If you knocked it, if your mouse, if you like nudge it, if you were to get your mouse now and just poke it with your finger on top and push it forward slightly, it would disconnect. So we've had to trade it in, but trade it in, send it back. Not trade it in, we sent it back and we got a new one come today. So she's got new toy, and I was like, can I have it? And she said no. So to be fair, I've got one that's higher up in the like cost-wise from that same manufacturer. So it's a budget manufacturer. It's Red Dragon, and they make some very good budget peripherals, because a lot of the big branded peripherals at the moment are getting very expensive. If you're a little teenage boy and you're like, yeah, I want to get up my Razer RGB, it's like, that's going to cost a lot of money, because you're looking at like nearly £100 for a keyboard and £60 for a mouse, and then you want your headset. So, but yeah, so using the Crude Bow. The Crude Bow is fine. It does the job, except you have to aim very high on. So if you're looking at something, you do have to aim quite high, and then firing it. It can be quite difficult. But yeah, as I say, took him for a tour and I'll have a little look around. Did you find the secret room, Nathan?
Oh, yeah, I did, on the outside.
Oh, damn it! I was hoping you would see it. I'm going to reserve that for Terry.
I only spawned in. I was stood in front of that door, or I wouldn't have noticed it.
Oh, so you were actually outside anyway.
Just happened.
Oh,
yeah, it just happens that where I'd logged out, I was stood there because I were building the tower things, weren't I?
Oh, of course. Oh, was that with last on? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite funny. But yeah, so the game naturally doesn't like you to do things in a circle. So in order to do it, I don't know whether you noticed, but what I had to do, so I knocked down the whole of that building. Adam didn't see the secret room. And then from the door, there's a small part that comes out. In fact, it looks like a ship from Star Trek, I think, at the moment, if you look at it. The 2 bedrooms are the nacelles on the side.
Yeah.
We definitely need like a screenshot from above somehow. So it extended out. Then I put, the half wall, I put 2 of those there. And then I did a 1 angle turn. You know, you roll the mouse. I did it so it twisted just the ones.
Yeah.
And then I did 2 more. So incrementally, as it went around, it eventually came back upon itself and formed a big circle. And then I had to basically create that roof. And I was like, what am I going to do for the roof? So I thought those angled beams, they could come in. And eventually they kind of started to meet. And then I had to mess about. The actual roof part was ridiculous because, like I say, it's not designed for that. Maybe they will. Maybe they're going to bring out some new, the Hearth and Home. Maybe they'll bring out some new roofing items
hopefully,
to do those round buildings. Maybe even curved like stone pieces. That would be amazing to have those curved ones and then just link them together to form like a round building. I think that would be excellent. Maybe even some sort of proper chimney thing. Maybe something to make something look a bit better than there's a hole, so it works. Do you know that? Yeah. Where we've had to improvise and just make a hole. So, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing it, and that central part that's above the hearth that came around by accident. What it was, I was building something to stand on in order to build the roof, and as I put a few down, I went, I like this, so I just carried on going, and then formed this platform. Yeah, taking bookings for the summer, Adam. You're more than welcome. I'll get you a bed ready. It'll be next to Terry's in that little hole, okay? You can't bring a family, though. Just yourself, and you will be collecting stone. Just letting you know. So, yeah, we've had great fun on Valheim. Of course, we've had some achievements in Valheim. Not actual achievements, but more of playing achievements. And you can tell us what we've been doing with that. How did we prepare for that? What did we do? Because it's a long story. I could probably go on for at least half an hour, but I'm going to let you tell us all about what we did in Valheim.
Yeah, we've done all the bosses now. So we killed the last boss, which took longer than I thought it would by a long time. I mean, you put the video up unedited, didn't you?
Yes.
I can't remember how long it were. Were it about half an hour or something?
The actual boss fight, I think it was between 25 minutes and half an hour. Yeah, any hole will do, Adam. That's the way to go. That's a Sheffield thing because we're a bit more picky in Nottingham. That's the actual fight, I think, was between 25 and 30 minutes, yeah. But, I mean, prep-wise before, I don't know how well we could have done it if we were more organised, because I'm not entirely sure we could have been more organised.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of was the which we weren't sure on because we did actually go into that battle like blind. We didn't really look into it. Was the fire resist potions, which I mentioned just as we were going in, but it takes 2 days to brew them, doesn't it? So it was like that was sort of off the cards because we wanted to get that last boss killed. So we'd been itching for it. So then when we did get in there and it spits fire and meteors and all sorts of stuff. That's what made it difficult. But I enjoyed it. It was good boss fight, that one. It was challenging. I mean, we both died a couple of times. But I think more to do with mobs spawning around. But we did get there.
It had a similar feeling to the Bone Mass fight in regards that we didn't know what was going. We didn't know what was going
which
on.
were difficult.
Yeah, which was very difficult. There was a lot going off. We had the Fullings, as goblin little. I keep calling them furlings, but they're called Fullings. And as far as I'm concerned, they're goblins. They would appear out of nowhere. You'd be busy. You'd be like, kablam, kablam. Let me take a potion. Oh, I died. Let me get my stuff. Wait a minute. There's 5 goblins chasing me. And then there was Deskitos. Was there Deskitos as well?
Yeah.
I got killed right at the end, didn't I?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Just a family WhatsApp message. My apologies. Yeah. So there was at one point, wasn't there, where I'd gone to. We were going back, and then I got hit by a Deskito, and I died, and I lost all my stuff.
Yeah.
But luckily, I had given you the head of Yaglu. What's his name again? Yagloof.
Yagluth.
Yeah. I'd given you his head, so that it didn't. We didn't lose it, but I managed to get some stuff back, so it was okay. It was fine. But yeah, I enjoyed prepping for that. I think maybe we over prepped slightly, but in terms of we had 3 portals. But I was like, if it goes nuts and chases after you, or locks onto you and smashes your portals, you are royally screwed in that game. Yeah. What are you actually gonna do other than die and be sad, which we've done before?
Yeah,
I think we did well. I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed building. I know it frustrated you because it stopped your plants growing, but I really enjoyed building that path going all the way around that monolith and the house on the top.
Yeah.
And you were like, excuse me, my plants aren't growing. And I was like, well, there's enough sky. But it must have just been like, must have been like 50 feet in the air, just a little bit of wood, and it's like stopping it.
Yeah.
I think they need to have something for that, don't they? Maybe they'll do something with that. I mean, it's not it was just unlucky, I guess, how we had it laid out. But yeah, that was quite good. What's next? Yeah. What's next in Valheim though? What we got to do? What we got to do now for a few more hours play? What we
I won't mind going to some of the unfinished biomes because I know there's at least 3 in there. There's the Deep North, which is obviously Antarctica. The Ashlands, which is like the lava desert, scary place, and then your favourite, the Mistlands, which is giant spindly trees with big massive cobwebs and big giant skulls half buried and stuff, and obviously full of spiders, but the spiders are not in yet because they're unfinished biomes, but you can go there and you can look down. So I think we need to go and see that. Also, we need to tame some animals as well. I won't mind a pet wolf.
Yeah, I think we do need to get some tame animals. We could try and tame one up near the mountain maybe, and then bring it down to the main base.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to have a slight extension. We can have a zoo.
Yeah.
A little zoo going.
Little petting zoo.
Yeah, come on, pet.
Where you can lose a hand.
Yeah, lose a limb zoo. I saw someone drag a sea serpent onto the land in a video yesterday, I think it was, and that was quite amusing. And he like blocked it off. He's like, "This is how you do it," and they just killed it. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What we need to do, we need to grab one and bring that on, and then we'll keep that in the moat. that can just patrol our moat for us.
Yeah,
We'll block it off either end.
I'd like to find a way to fill that moat up with more water. I don't think we can't. There's no way of transporting water at the moment. Hopefully they bring in some, I don't know, some buckets or something, so we can just go and get some and then tip it in. Maybe even make a little jacuzzi. We put a little fire underneath it. Throw in any visitors in we don't like, or even animals. Maybe Adam next time he comes on. Get in there. You're scruffy. You've been spending too many time painting them miniatures. You need a bath. Chuck him in. Yeah. Taming sounds pretty interesting. So you can tame. Adam says taming. That sounds good. We could because you can raise them. It's a bit like Minecraft, isn't it? So you can get, if you can get two in, you can make that they mate and then they produce little piggies. The boars do, obviously not the wolves. And then you can, as long as they've been fed and they're happy, you can then just kill a few to eat, and the others don't mind. You can just like jump in, just like just stab one, take its bits and bobs, and then just get on with your life. I want to capture some seagulls. That's what I want. I know you can't, but I want a supply of seagulls for feathers, because that's a pain when you need your arrows and you've got to kill. You've got to saying that though, I've stood on the roof before, and I think it had just gone into morning, and there were seagulls everywhere. There must have been about 8 seagulls, and I just stood there, and I had the Draugr bow, so of course it was quite accurate, and I'm just like, poof. I was just popping seagulls for like 30 seconds, and they were just like, poof. There's some feathers, poof. There's some more feathers, and it was quite fun just to do that. I quite enjoyed that. But yeah, give us those that taming. We're going to get that zoo going. I do like that. Like I do like you mentioning the having the moat filled with a few of those. I think as long as there's some water, they'll probably survive, won't they? Even if we can get them in that end bit, just that end bit would be nice to have them in there. It'd be quite scary. I think it'd be quite good. I want to know what they're going to be doing with the north. Do you think there'll be extra things up there?
Yeah. From the interviews that I've read, it's going to be like the mountain biome, but 10 times worse. So it's going to have yetis and bears, and it's going to have its own sort of boss, which people think is going to be like a giant bear. Because there's Norse mythology, there's giant bears that kill people like as big as mountains. So maybe they think that's what's going to be in it. So it's not on for this year, which is a bit strange because that's one of the more fleshed out biomes. It's the is it the Ashlands? The Mistlands that's next.
The one at the bottom, I keep hearing referred to as Ashlands.
Yeah, but I mean, because on their roadmap they've got right in December or the end of the year, updating the next biome, which I think they've coined as the Mistlands or the Ashlands, whichever. It's either one of them two, but no mention of the others. So I don't know whether they're going to come after or they'll be in between. That's the only one they've mentioned because I think it's Hearth and Home or whatever's the next update. Then there's Wolf Clan. Then there's something to do with sea.
I've heard that
they're going to flesh the ocean biome out.
Yeah, I've heard that Wolf Clan is something to do with it not being wolves, but as it being like people that take on the powers of the wolf, and like it becomes part of their identity. A bit like people that listen to heavy metal. You know how it's not just music they listen to, they have to become the heavy metal.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Sorry if anyone likes heavy metal that's listening. It's true though. Don't let your hobby or your interest or your music become your identity. It's like people with big beards. Suddenly
says Lee with a Star Wars hoodie on.
Hey, this was plain black, this was plain black, and it had that traditional yellow Star Wars, and it started to wear out. So we decorated it, and we did it like in paints just to like psychedelic it up a little bit, and then it was bleached, like tied up and bleached. I love it. It's so good. I absolutely love this jumper. It's like my favourite jumper, and it's like that comfy jumper that's going to fall apart. and eventually fall. You know, the one that you don't get rid of. I can show you as well because it's actually got like a hole in the sleeve. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just so comfortable because it's like really loose and like the hood is just. I can I can just escape in this. I can just see. I'm done. That's it. I'm just cozy for the night. Look at that. Look how cool it is. I know what you're thinking. You're not 20 more nearly. Stop wearing like tie bleached hoodies, but I don't care. I refuse to. I'm fine. I can wear a shirt. I'm good. I enjoy, especially in the summer. You'll find me in a shirt generally, but when it's a little bit cooler, man, I'm all about the Star Wars hoodie, and I'm 100% when. If they have them in, I got this from Primark. So when Primark opens again, I'm going to buy some more. I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do something. In fact, what I might do is I might bleach it even heavier, and then put some colours to give it that kind of like a galaxy. Maybe I can bring out. Yeah. I think it was bespoke hoodie, Adam. That's what I'm saying. All the cool kids have got them. Nathan hasn't got one. He's jealous. Look at him in his striped t-shirt with his.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll wear a shirt. I've got a shirt on.
It's fine. It's all right. So yeah, Valheim pretty much took over, and there's more to go. But just quickly jumping back to the Mistlands, I'm not looking forward to the spiders. I don't care. I don't like spiders. They're going to scare me big time. I don't like them. Like they just. You remember when we played Grounded? In fact, we should play that again. Maybe you should get your Game Pass again for a little bit. Grounded, when we were just like walking along and it was suddenly like and it was like, oh my god, actually scared you because they jumped. Did they jump as well, like proper? It's not. Yeah, they're very.
You couldn't seem to get away from them ones. They were quite scary, and for a game that's got like sort of cartoony aesthetic, they were like real spiders.
Yeah,
they were like photorealistic spiders.
Yeah.
It were ridiculous.
Wasn't there like ladybirds or something that just there were like some beetles and stuff which look they're quite cute. They're a bit dangerous, you know, if you're not careful. And then suddenly the spider of death comes around the corner. It's a bit like real life though. Was it yesterday? I'd gone. Amy had let dog out and she was there for ages. An open door and she's like standing in the middle of the path. She's like, there's a spider in the door, but I've just been standing like here. It's like she wouldn't come in. I don't know what she was doing, but yeah, it was quite funny. Other than Valheim, oh wait a minute, what have you been doing all week?
Stream. I bought some new equipment, as you can probably tell on the camera, and I did a little bit. Tried to do a little bit of streaming yesterday. Adam come and watched, but it was very choppy. I've still got some settings to work out, and also Jade's decided to start trying her hand at streaming. So she's been streaming this week because she got a new laptop, and she's using most of my equipment anyway.
Did you set it up on the laptop?
And she's getting some good. Yeah. She's got it on the laptop, but. So some of the games she did Seafarer the other day. She did that on the PC, on this PC.
I saw her playing that one, didn't I?
But the other games, yeah.
Because she was lecturing.
That was for the PC.
She was lecturing. She was lecturing in it. Near the end, she's like, "I want to turn it off. How do I turn it off? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Nathan, sort it out."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't know what she's doing. She wants to do streaming, but she's not very technically minded. So it's me that's organising all that. But yeah, been streaming. I streamed a lot of Valheim. I'm going to be doing a lot more streaming, so keep an eye out for that. We're going to do some together, aren't we? So we're going to try and do a boss run on Valheim probably next week. Probably not Saturday this week, but probably next week because we need to prepare. Where we're going to just smash all bosses in an order, like from start to finish. See how fast we can do it. If Adam, you can join us if you want to do them. If you're up to that point in the game, you don't want to spoil anything.
We could issue him. We could issue Adam with some weapons to help, or maybe we could issue him with silver arrows and a bow, 200 arrows. Sit over there, Adam, and just shoot. But or he can film it for us. He can be our camera. He can he can float about as a camera. Maybe we could do it on not on the server, but maybe we could do it on a hosted server. Like I could host one or something. Maybe we could do it on that, and we could set up a. We could maybe get someone as a lifted up like in cheat mode, up like as a camera to like watch. I think that could be quite interesting. That could work quite well. Adam says, apart from Valheim pending updates, any plans on a new gaming adventure? Is there anything you can think of? Well, we got Dark Souls to play a bit more. Sorry, we got a little bit more Dark Souls. I hate that game, but he makes me play it.
Yeah, because it's very good, and I'm going to get into Big Good, and you're going to enjoy it.
I do enjoy elements of it. I won't lie.
Yeah, we need to get definitely back on it. But this leads on into the gaming news we were going to talk about. We were sort of looking forward to. I know I was looking forward to it a bit more than you, because I'm sort of dragging you along with it. Outriders, the demo came out the other day, and it's a game that's been pushed back, and it's like sort of drop in, drop out co-op, looter shooter, like what I don't know, Borderlands sort of Destiny style game.
I was just going to say those two games.
It looked really good, and and it's is it Squaresoft that makes Final Fantasy and everything?
I think so.
So you would usually they're quite polished games, and I was looking forward to it. And then I've watched a couple of reviews at it. I've downloaded the demo. I did actually want to play it before we did this podcast, but I haven't had time so I thought I could give a proper opinion on it. But the word on the street is it's quite mediocre, to the point of it's just generic. So I'm not happy about that, because that was one of our plans to do that, and I don't think there's all else coming out, is there? Like new adventure wise for us to go on.
Gaming what?
Other than new, which is not well over.
Gaming wise, not really, but we do have an extensive library that we can pull from. So I think we could probably find something if we have a dig in there. We could find something. I'm looking at trying to maybe stream. I'd like to stream maybe twice a week for a few hours. Probably back to work in a month though. I don't know to what extent. It will be part time or it will be. I don't think it'll be full time hours. But we'll see. That's the future. We'll have to wait and see. And you never know what the future holds, to be honest. I would like... I don't want to say, I want a new job. But I would like something a little bit more for me. Being able to do one job is one thing, but I'm not going to be able to do it for the rest of my life. I don't think I'll enjoy it for too long. But we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Have we got any news? Gaming news? Is there anything worth mentioning? It's been a quiet week. We've got a couple of bits. I'll start off with Hogwarts Legacy. We know that got pushed back to, is it next year now? Oh, has it? I thought it was coming. Oh, was that?
Two little bits.
Was that news from?
Some news about it. Not. But yeah, that got pushed back. Yeah, because it's the thing. But there's been two things. One of them, I think, is to cover up the other thing, which is a bit strange. But the main part of the news is one of the designers has been asked to leave the studio, one of the lead designers, because some past YouTube videos where he calls out social justice warriors and defends someone over sexual assault allegations. But that's about as many details as I can get on it. But funnily enough, like literally as soon as this story came out, there was the other story of, I don't know why they just thrown it out there. It just seems to be inclusive. That the Hogwarts character creation things are going to be non-gender specific, so you can choose. I don't know if you can choose pronouns. I don't think it's going to be as in depth as Cyberpunk with actual choosing of genitals and stuff. But it's a bit. I understand why they're saying that, other than to just smooth over this little indiscretion with the lead designer. It seems a bit strange. That would come out.
Now I'm going to have some thoughts on this, but I have to be careful because I'm a little bit, as we've said before, I'm a little bit right leaning, maybe old fashioned, maybe stuck in the past. But I'm not totally opposed to anything like this. But I just find that there's more and more of it. It's being thrown in your face more and more and more. And I know there's going to be an attitude of, well, it's a real thing, of course it exists, don't deny it, etc., etc. Do we need a Hogwarts game, a Harry Potter game, ultimately it's a Harry Potter game. Let's be honest, that's what started it all. Do we need a game where I can say, I want to be a male character with female genitalia, or I want to be female, but I want you to call me by a male pronoun? Do we need this in games? Or is it something that we need because of it being more and more acceptable, more brought into light? And I've come across a lot of videos where if you misgender someone, it's now, I think Canada considers it to be a crime. But there's two sides to it. There's three, I guess. There's that side which is positive. There's that side that doesn't care. But then there's the other side which is very much, there's two genders, and I'm not going to call you. If you're a guy called Trevor and you want to be called Susan, I don't care. I'll call you Susan. I don't. There's that attitude, but also carrying with them the idea that whether you think you're a woman, you dress like a woman, you're still a man, or the other way round. You're born male, a male physique, and that's what you are. Physically, that's what you are, and that's how you should be referred to. Should it be against any law to refer to you as a man? Here's Susan, the gentleman from across there. Should that be a crime? But there's more and more of this in media. You see it pop up more and more and more. And I feel like if Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, if they didn't have it in, I think it would be an excuse. It would be a reason for the cancel culture, the far left, the trans rights groups. They would jump on it, and ultimately they would try their best to cancel it. They would be saying, but my son identifies as a female, now won't play your game, so you have to do it. Didn't J.K. Rowling herself come out against trans people, saying something like a woman is a woman, and there was something that she said, they jumped on her. But then she claimed that Dumbledore was gay. I think it's all over the place. I think it should be in there because it's part of society, and I think if you're going to be part of a mass media empire, you can't dismiss it. You have to have it in there. You have to provide an outlet in a game. But it's a fantasy game, so it's not real. It's in the Hogwarts, the Harry Potter films, there was never, there's Trevor, but he was born Gillian or whatever. There was never any of that.
Yeah.
They always moan about it, saying that there was no, what did they call it? Not people of colour. It's not people of colour. It's something else they were saying. But there's most of the cast is white, isn't it? All the teachers, they're all like white, aren't they? And I didn't think about it at the time, but looking back at it now, I'm like, oh yeah, they're all white, aren't they? I'm not saying Dumbledore should have been a black guy, but there could have easily been a secondary level. Could have one of the top teachers could have easily been a black guy, and it not be an issue. No one would have batted an eyelid at it. But that's as in the UK, isn't it? We see something, we accept it. As I think as a country, we're very accepting of all colours, religions, etc. We don't think twice about it. We don't, people don't look at myself and my wife and go, oh look, he's white and she's not white. It's not that. We're not a mixed race couple. We're not a mixed family. We're just a family. That's how this country sees it. We often mention it in the house. We have our little jokes and we mess about with it, and stuff. And because it's funny, it's something funny to do. Technically speaking, I'm the only white person in my house because the children are mixed. So I often get I don't like it, it's white, and then they look at me like, ooh, white guy. And it's just a joke. I don't bother. I think it's funny. I'm glad they've got a sense of humour enough to play around with that. Because I think if you can't do it, that's the crime. Ultimately, that's the crime. But yeah, just bring it on. I think it's an odd one that they've pushed it forward and thrown it into light. But there's so many games that just have male or female, and they just get on with it. Ultimately, you could just have male or female, because most, if you're a boy that's identifying as a female, surely you just pick a female character.
Yeah.
And then just get on with it, or the other way around.
That's what you think, but yeah.
I mean, don't make it your whole identity. If you're a black guy, don't make your identity as the black guy. Or if you are gay, don't make your identity as a gay person. With the gay lisp and the flamboyancy, this is not something that you have to do. I have spoken to it. I kind of get why it is like it is, but at the same time, when you make it your identity, it becomes a little bit toxic sometimes, and it comes a bit like, oh, for God's sake, just be a person and just get on with it. Surely it's that easy, is it not? Or I feel like, in fact, we're not allowed to comment on this, Nathan, because we're cis white men, and we're from the UK, which ultimately makes it even worse, because we're from this massively privileged society, which when you get to know it, we're not as privileged as you think. We're not massively well off, and all the rest of it. We get by, I think. But that's I know plenty of people that aren't white that are a lot better off than I am. So wow, sorry for that rant. That just went on a little bit, but I think I'd like to think that it was relevant, and also this is a podcast, and part of it is about the way we think, and I think it's acceptable. It's an acceptable conversation. Keeping in mind, I just want to add on the end of it. I'm not anti anything. I'm not against anything. It's just that sometimes you have the odd thought which people don't like, or you find can't discuss because people don't like to discuss things like that because you don't know. Well, it doesn't mean I can't speak. Doesn't mean I don't see. Doesn't mean I can't experience the world around me and take part of it. Because ultimately, if we don't, God knows what had happened. But yeah, any more gaming? Anything else games wise?
Last little bit of gaming news I've got is literally just the free Epic game. So if you've got Epic and you want a free game, it's Wargame Red Dragon. I've claimed it. It's not. It looks a little bit like a sort of battleship sort of game. I can't remember what it's called. Do you know that free game where it's warships or something?
World of Warships.
It looks a bit like that.
We need to play that.
That's it.
We need to play that.
Yeah, it looks like that.
I have played it, and I actually had quite a lot of fun on it. To just cruise around and be like shooting torpedoes off. So much fun. And there were so many ships as well. Sorry, go on.
Well, seeing as we get this for free, we could give this a let's play and try it. It doesn't.
Is it multiplayer?
Is it what?
Multiplayer.
I think it looks. I haven't checked, but it looks like it. It looks like it is.
Cool. If it is
like that sort of game, it's like the. Yeah, well, if it is, that's what we can play. But that's literally all the gaming news from this week. It's been a quiet, controversial week.
That's all the gaming news from you. Now I've got a few bits. So although I haven't read the article fully, Games of Tsushima. Am I saying that right? Ghosts of Tsushima. Let me get. Oh, sorry, games. Yeah. Ghosts of Tsushima is a game that's out on PlayStation, isn't it? And it looks really good. And wait a minute, is that the one that's on PC? What's the one that's only? There was two kind of similar. One Dark Soulsy. What was it?
You're thinking of Sekiro. It's not Sekiro. Sekiro's on everything.
Is it Sekiro that's
just on?
Right, Ghost of Tsushima is the one I really wanted to play and was a bit annoyed it was only on PlayStation, and I'm 100% not buying a PlayStation, so I'm not going to get it.
Just to annoy you, my mate's lending it me in like a few weeks because he's been going through it, so I shall be playing that, and I'll put some videos up. So I might even stream some of it. So you'll get to see some of it.
Okay, I don't like you anymore.
And it might make you buy a PlayStation,
so
you can play multiplayer.
If I see one for like a tenner, I might pick it up, but I'm not buying one. So Ghost of Tsushima, the developers have made like ambassadors of the real life island, and I thought that was quite interesting how that this game has affected people, and they've gone, you know what, we really like that. We're going to have it as we're going to honour them by. It's like getting the key, isn't it? It's like getting the key to the city sort of thing. And I think that's absolutely brilliant how that. I think they've responded to it and reacted to it in such a positive way. I do need to play it. It is one of those games. Speaking of PlayStation, Last of Us 2 has led the awards for Game of the Year and all that business. I've no interest in it. I know people love it, but you said yourself that you don't really fancy it.
No, it's not. It's never a game that grabbed me. No, I've played the first one for about an hour, and it just didn't appeal. Even though I like them sort of games, it just did not grab me.
Well, maybe one day you'll pick it up for like a $5, or maybe even your mate will borrow it, and you can play it. Euro Truck, Euro Truck Simulator. Adam, I know you play it, Sado. It's heading to Russia, so I'm assuming lots of mafia issues, crappy roads, and you can't understand anybody. This is what I'm going to go for on that one. But jokes aside, I think that the fact that it is heading out to another country is because it started off, obviously, I think it was mainly UK that it went into Europe, but the fact that it's heading off to a massive country like Russia, because obviously it is so big, isn't it? From one end of Russia to the other I don't think people understand how huge it is. The fact that you'll be able to now get even more bored driving your truck across it. I thought that was quite interesting. Yeah, Euro Truck news just for you, Adam. One more thing I wanted to mention, games-wise, was now we all like handhelds. In fact, we have a handheld special podcast coming up at some point in the future. Now, we all love a bit of handheld gaming, whether it's on your mobile phone. But no, if you just game on your mobile phone, you're not a gamer. You're just someone that plays on a mobile phone. Let's just leave it at that. If you have something like a Switch, or you play a lot on PSP, the PlayStation Vita, or even the old school Game Boy, etc., or the Nintendo DS, of course. Now, even we have the Switch, which essentially is, to me, it's a handheld console that if you want to, you can play it on your TV. I think it's played like that for the majority of people. The fact that you can keep it in your bedroom but go and sit, in the front room, if chill out in the front room and play it, have your headphones in or whatever. We love these handheld devices. I had a PSP, and that was the only handheld one I ever had, apart from the kids had DSs. But there is what we've always wanted is a PC that is a handheld. I mean, why would you not want a PC?
Yeah.
Now, the Ryzen APUs, now I know you're thinking, what's an APU? Well, a CPU, central processing unit. The APU includes a graphics chip, which is what my wife's sort of like mid-range kind of gaming PC and your wife's laptop has. They've crammed all this into a handheld, and it is absolutely beautiful. Now, I'll mention, let me just find the article because it's on here. I'm not putting the article on video. It's called by a company called Ara, and it's called the Neo. Disappointing thing is it starts off at $699, $869 for a 1 terabyte model, so it's not cheap. However, this is obviously a device for someone that has a few quid to chuck away. And it has, I think you can get a docking station. I think it's $47, but that's not even worth mentioning. But the fact is, I've seen this. I watched a video of this, and the 6 onboard GPU cores will play games such as Grand Theft Auto on sort of that low to mid sort of settings. But because the screen's a lot smaller, it you don't notice it. It plays really well, and I think it's something for those who want everything and who've got extra money. I think it's definitely one of those things that people could pick up. Definitely an interesting buy. Something I won't be buying. I think a lot of people now, if they want something that's handheld, they often go for those Android or those like Raspberry Pi sort of devices.
Yeah, you can make your own with a Raspberry Pi. That'll play most any game anyway. So, and for like 40 quid. Do you know what I mean? I can't see anyone in the right mind paying £869 unless you've got like 14 cars and a swimming pool. It just seems like a waste. I'd rather spend that on PC stuff and get a right good PC.
It's literally,
like buy.
Yeah,
couple of stuff, a couple of bits to upgrade a good PC.
To justify buying that, it would literally have to be pocket change that you didn't care about.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it looks beautiful, and I would
does.
love to own it if someone gave me one.
Yeah.
But I would never buy one myself unless I won the lottery, and then even then I don't. Let's see.
Exactly.
When I win the lottery.
Jumping off gaming news, going to a little bit of TV, and then I think we'll probably be wrapping up after that. But we've watched the first episode of the new Superman TV show. Now, there's been a couple of Superman TVs. There was Smallville, which I never watched. Did you ever watch Smallville?
I quite like that. I didn't finish it all the way to end. I maybe watched 3 series, and I quite liked it, and it were pretty decent.
Okay, I never watched it. For good or bad, I just never watched it. I don't know. I think I was busy working at the time. I think it was just a case of I was working or gaming or with the kids, and I just never got around to it. But there's a new one. It's called Superman and Lois. I keep saying Lewis. My wife keeps turning around to me going, Lois. But it's not Lewis. It's your son's name, obviously. I keep saying Lewis. Superman and Lois. And I'm gonna sort of talk about what's happened in the first 10 minutes of the show, if you don't mind. If this is considered a spoiler, I apologise. Spoiler warning for the next minute. I am talking about this Superman show. If you do watch it, it's literally in the first I think it's in the first 16 minutes, so it's not a big thing. So Superman, you kind of bypass him up until he's an adult. He marries Lois Lane, and he has twin sons in the show. So he has a family. This is the twist. He has a family, and it kind of goes from there. I think the fact that they have changed it up a bit, I think is very interesting. I think the actors that are playing Lois and Superman seem pretty decent. Although Lois looks like she could probably do with a meal or two. I don't think she's eaten in about 6 months. The actor that plays Superman, he looks vaguely like Hispanic, but he's not. He's got like a different look to him, but it works really well. I think the actors are brilliant. The two sons are different. One's a bit sporty, a little bit more like the typical American jock, and the other one is like a bit more rock / emo-ish, but he also has some big social anxiety issues. So there's a bit of they've thrown that in there as a sort of like an extra twist to the show, just something extra to have, and why not? It's it's what makes these shows. If there were just two boys that were Superman's children, then I think it would just be a bit boring. They have to do something with it, so they are different. And ultimately, there is the question of I know this. I've watched the episodes. I won't go into any more of it, but ultimately, there's the question of: will these children have the powers? Will one of them have the powers? Will both? I mean, I don't quite know how that works. Maybe it's like eye colour. Sometimes they have brown eyes, sometimes they don't. All my daughters have brown eyes, and my son has the same eyes as me, and my wife has brown eyes as well. So it's kind of like you never know what's going to happen, do you? But it's funny how he ended up with my eye colour and the girls all ended up with brown. It's just like, it's a real odd one. But yeah, at the moment I've watched the first episode, and we've already met the bad guy. Who do you think the bad guy is?
Is it Lex Luthor?
It is Lex Luthor, although he looks a bit different. So we'll let that.
Has he not got a bald head?
He has got a bald head, but it's not like a pink head, it's like a brown head. So they've changed, they've had a change of colour for Lex Luthor, and it's fine by me. It doesn't affect it in any way. He's still evil. He's still like an evil mastermind, and I do not give, two shits, do I say, about what colour is. I think even if I said to Karina, I said they should have made Lois a black girl or something different, and she's like, no, it's just white. But either way, it's like I've always been waiting. I'm waiting for that black James Bond myself. But they've gone for like a black female 007, haven't they, instead of a male. They've totally gone a different way. But yeah, why not? Bring it on. Oh, was it? But yeah, it looks good. It doesn't look cheap, nasty. The special effects are a 9 out of 10. There was this bit with some frozen water, this big lump of ice, and it was like, water special effects and ice always a bit here and there. But I think it came out okay. Have you got any thoughts on whether did you want a new Superman TV show in your life?
I didn't mind it. I maybe won't watch it, but that's only because I don't really watch superhero programs. I don't watch like The Arrow or
You watch?
What's the other one?
You watch The
Daredevil
Boys
and Supergirl and yeah, but that's different.
The anti-hero sort
that's
of.
Not solely superheroes. Yeah, that's a bit gritty and it's a bit real and it's. I tend to just stay away because they usually are low budget, aren't they? Like when you get Arrow and I can't remember the name of other ones. I liked Jessica Jones.
I liked Jessica
Jones. We did watch
Jones.
the first series of that and did quite like that.
But she was the crackhead. She was the crackhead that was in Breaking Bad, wasn't she? So that's all I could see with her.
Yeah, Jesse's girlfriend.
I was like, oh, there's that crackhead. She's kicking ass again. That's all I could see. Sorry, that's just literally all I could see with her. Although, yeah, great character. I like her kind of arrogance, and then she just go and like murder someone, like go kick crap out of them. She was great. Yeah, but she wasn't like a superhero. She was just tough. She's like a scrapper.
Well, I probably I might give it a go. We'll see. If it gets any better. I mean, I quite liked WandaVision. We haven't watched the last one yet, but that got better. Not as slow, and that turned out pretty well. So
yeah,
maybe I'll get Superman.
I need to watch WandaVision. Adam's just mentioned he's rewatching through Gold Rush. Is that not that program on like Discovery where they go and find gold? There's gold in them there hills, isn't it? That program? Or I'm thinking we were talking about like superhero programs, and is it something totally different? Adam, you need to comment on that one.
Is it where they're in Australia and they buy like a plot of land or they rent a plot of land and they're allowed to dig it for gold? Because I got a little bit obsessed when I was getting up in the morning to get kids ready for school watching that, because that was quite a good program. I mean, it's got no superheroes in it and it's got nothing to do with Superman, but if that's what you're watching, Adam, that's what I liked.
That's from 2000. I'm just having a look through the IMDb. That's from 2010, and Alaska.
Oh, Alaska. Oh, the Australian one I was watching where they start digging up a big square of desert.
Wow. And just like hoping to find some gold.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it might be some random superhero show, but obviously it's not. In Alaska, yeah, I think Alaska sounds interesting. Although Alaska, to be honest, isn't that just like a cold Australia? Because everything's like designed. Yeah, because then they're like every animal's like out to kill you. Like there's bears and wolves and I don't know, conservatives, like loads of Republicans and that with guns and whatnot and trucks. It's very American. Alaska to me seems like proper America. Or Texas. Alaska's just cold Texas. That's what I'm going for. If any American happens to catch this, feel free to tell me to shut up in the comments. Yeah, but I think that's about as covered for today, isn't it?
Yeah. Quick recommendation to not watch the new Witches. We watched it today and it was atrocious.
The new what?
Don't give it a watch. Witches, the Roald Dahl, The Witches.
Oh, is it a film or a TV show?
It's got a film. There was an original.
It's got Anne Hathaway in it.
Yeah, it's awful. I was watching it and I was like, "This is not good." And the kids liked it.
How can something with Anne Hathaway be terrible?
Because her accent's all over the place. She's supposed to be like sort of Russian-y or Scandinavian, and then she turns Scottish and Welsh, and they're just throwing all accents in, and she's not good in that role. I mean, I like her in other roles, Catwoman and stuff, but not in that.
Isn't there something which is... there was controversy about this, wasn't there? Because she's got, like, 3 fingers and, like, disabled...
Yeah, her hand's sort of like that.
I'm sorry to laugh, it's not funny.
It's ableist.
Yeah, they were like, you can't do that. I'm like, it's just fiction. It's just a fictional character. You cannot. It's not able. It's not turning her into someone that's disabled and then portraying her in a bad way. It's literally an evil person that happens to look like this.
They make no. It's not even a person. They hammer it home that or something. That's why they've got these hands like that. The mouse like big, and they've got no toes. And although Anne Hathaway's got like a weird sort of middle toe that she clicks around and walks, which it shows too much feet in that film for my liking for a start.
For your liking, but there might be some people that do like it.
Yeah, a toeless foot or a foot with one middle toe, so tapping around, it goes on mouse traps. I did not enjoy that film. I would give it a miss. If you're maybe your kids will like it, but as adults, don't watch it.
Yeah, I think I might give it a miss. I don't think it's a film I ever wanted to watch anyway, but yeah.
Yeah,
so that's the. So anyone that's watching, is that the one with the complaints about her fingers? Karina says yes, it is, and we just spoke about it for like 2 minutes. So whether you missed it or not, I don't know. But yeah, the complaints about her fingers, and yeah, I think it was a bit blown out of proportion. It's like they saw something, they latched on it, and they were like, "We've not had anything to moan about in years. Let's pick on the witches with Anne Hathaway with the weird manky hands." Sorry, not manky hands. That comes across wrong. I didn't mean manky hands. I just mean like dug a hole. I've jumped in it.
They're not even fingers. They're like talons.
But yeah. So to end us on this one, thank you for anyone that's watching that, and no thank you to everyone that didn't watch. You could have watched because we're awesome. It's me. Could have said hello.
Yep.
Could have come along. Steve, we needed you.
Cheers if you're watching this unrecorded. So,
of course, yeah, this will be on YouTube and it will be linked up on there as well. So big thanks from me and Nathan for coming along and watching. And I will end this stream in about 5 seconds. No outro, sorry. It will be on. I will add it on there for the YouTube.
Bye.